I've been a scuba instructor for the better part of 30 years now, which means I have used a lot of masks. And not only have I used a lot of masks, I've sold a lot of masks, and I've watched a lot of other divers and students struggle with masks that weren't the best fit. And so I'm always kind of looking for new masks to try out as well as other scuba equipment. So a big thank you to Scuba Prime for sending me a sample of their panoramic snorkel kit to try out. Now, right out of the box, you're going to get three things. You're going to get the mask, the snorkel, and a really nice mesh bag. Now, you want a mesh bag so that the water can drain out of these things because your gear is going to be wet. But I could tell immediately that this was a very good mask and snorkel setup. And I don't just say that. There are a lot of features that I look on that really make the difference between a good mask and a mask that you're going to struggle with. Now, for starters, the thing I was very happy to see as soon as I took this out was right here on the lens, it said tempered. So that means that the glass in here is actually a tempered glass and it's not plastic. Now that's important for a whole bunch of reasons. First of all, optically, you just see better out of glass than you do through plastic. It also is much hardier. It's going to, over time, it's going to resist not only scratches and things like that, but plastic lenses can tend to kind of fog up a little bit and get a little bit almost milky over time. That will not happen with tempered glass. Also, when you have tempered glass, and if you've been snorkeling or scuba diving before, you understand that masks tend to fog up on the inside, and we combat that by using an anti-fog solution that we rub on the inside of our masks. And that anti-fog solution works a lot better on tempered glass than it does with masks that have plastic. So right away, I was really happy about the lens. But there's more to the lens than just the tempered glass. This has actually got a panoramic view, which means not only do you have this front lens, but you can see over here on the side, you have a side lens as well, which gives you 180 degrees of view, so you can see things in the periphery. And it also, if you've ever been diving with a mask that has lenses on the side, you know that it lets much more light in. So very, very happy with the lens itself, but there's even more to this mask that I was very happy to see. Once you figure out that you've got a good lens, you want to see how easy it is to adjust. And this adjusts very, very easily. The back of this, nice and big, and this is all made out of a very nice, soft silicone. And the silicone is used on the skirt as well, which is arguably one of the other most important parts of a mask. You can see on here, it's a nice, soft, supple silicone, and this is what's going to sit against your face. And not only is it a soft silicone skirt, but it's a deep one. So this distance from here to here is deep. This is what presses up against your face. And since it's deep and it is soft, it will conform to your face and it will seal better. Now the test for this, and this is the first thing I did when I got this out of the box, is I just lifted this up, put it on my face, and I inhaled through my nose. I didn't have the strap on, and the mask just pulled up and held on its own right against my face. This is a really good sign of a good seal, and this usually happens when you've got a nice skirt like this. It's got nice nose slot here, so you can reach up in here, and if you have to equalize your ears, there's plenty of space up in here for you to reach up and do this as well. And so the mask alone is very, very nice. But the snorkel has got an awful lot of features to it as well. Now, you might think a snorkel is just a snorkel, but in fact, that's not true. If you've ever been out and tried to snorkel and ended up with a lot of water in your mouth, or you found it uncomfortable, a good snorkel can make all the difference. And Scuba Prime did a great job with this snorkel for a whole bunch of reasons. Now, the whole snorkel is silicone constructed. It has got a little bend in it right here. This is flexible, so you can bend this around. It's got a very nice soft mouthpiece, so this will be really comfortable in your mouth. But then the other really good features of this start to kind of show themselves. There's a little valve here on the bottom that will help you clear water out of it. If you think about the old J snorkels that just went up and all the water pooled in there, the water will actually, any water that gets in there will pool down below and comes out here when you exhale. As we work our way up the snorkel, something that I found really kind of a brilliant design was where this clips onto your mask, and we've all used these before. This actually comes out. So you can take this out right here and you can clip this onto your mask. You can adjust the setting on here so it's right where you want it, and then you can clip this back in. I thought that was really brilliant. Now, up on the top here, we've got a dry valve. Now, dry valves, if you have not been snorkeling with anything that's got a valve like this on the top, you should start. It makes a big difference. You can see there's a float up inside here that goes up and down. It floats up to the top when you blow out to get the water out, but then while you're snorkeling around, this sets back down and blocks the snorkel. And what that means is that if water comes over the top of this like a wave, it doesn't go down inside of your snorkel. And if some water gets in, it's a pretty minimal amount, and that ends up down in here, and your breathing just goes on as regular. Now, free divers, and that is people who do snorkeling not just to stay on the surface, but they'll snorkel and then they will dive down quite deep. A lot of them do not like these valves on the top. It goofs up buoyancy a little bit. They can find to have a little bit of drag on it, but they thought about this as well. And as you can see here, this valve actually detaches from the snorkel if you don't want to have it on there. So if you're free diving, you can take this off. And then when you go back to just snorkeling along the surface and you want to look down at the reef, you can put this back on. All right. So this is really a great kit. The mask checks off all the boxes I would look for. The snorkel is beautifully designed, and you've got this great mesh bag. This is a really good snorkel kit. I can't recommend it enough. I've got a dive trip in about a month. I'm going to be taking this with me, and I can't wait to try it out.